Greetings, everyone, and welcome. Thank you all very much for joining me for some more Neo Scavenger, and if we're lucky, the conclusion of Neo Scavenger. Although, I've said that before, and the game turned out to have quite a lot more for us to do. However, since Phoenix Point right now is suffering from some fairly serious bugs that are frequent enough to make it borderline unplayable, we're back here. And we're going to resume this while I continue working on finding new and interesting looking games to try. And unfortunately, I had been planning on checking out the latest update to Stone Shard after finishing this, but they ended up delaying it about a month, I think. I believe they said November 18th is going to be their new release date for that. So I have another month to kill before we will be revisiting Stone Shard for that new update, but Nobleman, I haven't even had a chance to look at XCOM to see how similar or different it is from Phoenix Point. I'll get back to you on that once I've had a chance. Anon, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think Dark Devotion is one of the games I've already looked at and decided were not for me. I'll have to get back to you on that, too. I'll have to double check and see if it's the same game I'm thinking of, but if it is, then I will have already decided against it. Oh no, Monotone, I'm sorry to hear that. Hang in there, man. Kind of like Salt and Sanctuary, Anon? Well, okay. Oh, I remember what I was doing. I was, I think I was trying to explore the Poison Swamp. Monotone, if you're in a position to do so, I really recommend that you go take the opportunity to get in at least a nap, if nothing else. Oh, this is stuff I already sold. Okay. Okay, there, and I did end up picking up a cell phone with GPS software. Not sure exactly how helpful it's going to be, but a whole bunch of stuff here. Scraps of paper.
Thank you. Yes. Sincerely.
Hello, Kitty. Thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back. 42 months, huh? Hard to believe. The time really does fly. Alright, looks like there's all sorts of people dropping items over here. Well, we'd probably better make use of this. Oh, Low Kitty. The very idea that I would ever try to get rid of you. Perish the thought. Right, let's see. Sorts of stuff over here, geez. Including some Twinkies, we'll take those. And guess we can. Oh, this is what's left of a dude. We'll just get rid of this so that I'm not tempted to come back here after I've forgotten what... Oh, there's an Anishinaabe warrior here. Oh, and apparently they killed somebody. Hey, Devilish. Dare I ask what game you're playing, Devilish? I mean, yeah, D, that's more or less what he is at this point. Okay, that water is safe, so we're gonna just drink it now. None of that stuff is important. Alright, now what we need to do is we need to... Oh. We need to put these gas mask filters in our gas mask. And I think that should protect us. From the poison here, Black Swamp Ruins. Let's search to see what we've got. Oh, I guess because we're still near the city. We're not going to find anything useful. These idiots who keep wandering into the swamp... I'm pretty sure they're just sentencing themselves to death. Oh, bravely default. Okay, Devilish, I see. Oh, wow, Devilish. To call a skill like that Big Pharma is a little bit ironic. Good on you for figuring out an infinite farm, though, Devilish. I approve of that sort of thing. There we are. Now that it's next morning, we should be able to... sell stuff to the junk market. Yeah. That was 300 from just the bullets. And we're walking out of here with, I think, a little bit under $500 more. Yeah, Low Kitty, that sounds like an old cat who likes to just chill, and a young cat who wants to do anything but chill. Astronauts, you mean, Asherite? I've already streamed an earlier build of Astronauts. And I've been keeping up to date on their updates to the game. And it seems they have been updating it fairly regularly. So it is still very much a work in progress, but it is at least progressing. All right. The thing is, Asherite, Astronauts right now is not in a state where it's really playable or where there's really even anything to do. So to that end, I am going to hold off. Until it is a little further along. Right, nothing there. Boy, it takes ages to move through this swamp. Going here really is pretty slow. Swamp crash site? You've stumbled onto a crash site. Looks like part of a hover convoy went down here. Vehicle wreckage and containers are spread over the crash site and peek out of the swamp. Fire, corrosion, and the crash have taken their toll, but you're betting few scavengers have been through this dismal swamp yet, so the pickings may be good. If we weren't so close to the damn city. We found a whole bunch of bags of chips. And a bunch of boxes. I'm not sure I would want to eat chips out of bags that I found.
Greetings, undead warrior.
In a toxic swamp. Shadowrunner, thank you so much for the resub. Really appreciate that. Welcome back. Hey, Dragonab. Devilish, you named your cat Moses? No wonder he's constantly knocking over his water bowl. Well, I can at least... grab these chip bags and use them to make more tinfoil ponchos. Because I'm not sure how many of those things we're going to need, but... Oh, okay, Devilish. I see. Close enough. Well, Asherite, the newspaper ad for these chips is, and I quote, "They're like an eating disorder in a bag." So why not? Hey, Reverend, welcome. Okay, I just want to make sure we're safe here to enter the swamp and check. Well, that doesn't help. Okay, that's fully charged, I guess. So we can't use any of this stuff. And we're still too far from the city for this to give us any good loot. This is just a dead guy who wandered into the swamp. Yeah, these scavengers are really not very bright, are they? They walk... Yeah, there's corpses everywhere. They walk into this toxic swamp with no protection. Yeah, I figured that out, Asherite. They don't seem to recognize the danger of the swamp, and they'll just wander right in. Nothing useful here. These I'm going to need if I run into a rifle that doesn't have a strap on it. Right, and let's see. course it's locked. We'll add this so that we can have a few more charges. We probably also better get out of here, because I'm getting tired. And I'm pretty sure the guards can safely wander into the swamp because they have gas masks. I guess Asherite, but it seems to me anybody who lives around here ought to know full well what a bad idea it is to walk in there for any reason. Oh, now we're... Now I have to deal with heat exhaustion, because apparently even in the middle of winter, I'm wearing too much. Oh, and that meat's spoiled. I was afraid it might. We'll just get a cheap meal here. And let me just double check to make sure that we don't have any... Perfect health. Okay, we haven't been exposed to the defoliant. So I was correct then. A gas mask does protect us when we're in the swamp. Sucks to have to pay $213 to figure that out, but... Oh, look, and now it's morning. And now we can... We can check to see if there are any items we need here. And actually, this sack of foil bags we can just bring back with us. And... oh, I guess it's not gonna fit. Although, I note with some encouragement that this hot brick thing didn't cause us radiation poisoning. And we can now charge these batteries. And have access to... huh? Oh. Yeah, Asherite, they do. They have filters that have to be replaced once they expire. And that's why I've been, using my mask sparingly, because the gas mask cartridges are, I think, one of the rarest items in the game, as far as I can tell. Oh, right, we need to sleep. I was gonna say. Okay, yeah. Gonna sleep here a little more if we can manage it. Let's just take one more quick look. No, I don't see anything else that's going to be any help. What I am going to do, however, is we're going to store this here because I'm running out of, well, I've long since run out of space in my existing hideout. Oh, that's what I need to do. I need to build... a weapon. And actually we'll switch these because this will essentially be the same thing as restoring the durability on my multi-tool. Well, and swamp everything, Asylum Cat, really. Alright, I think I need... Well, first of all, we can put some of this stuff in there. Oh god, I shouldn't have tried to craft at a campsite with so many items. This is going to take forever to load. That's one problem with this game is, if you try to craft at a campsite that's got this much stuff at it, it all has to be loaded into the crafting UI. See how much faster it is here? And then we need weapon, broad spear. And I think also it would be a good idea to take some materials with us because... Welcome back, Monotone. Hang in there. I was going to say Monotone. I guess you had already stepped away when I said it, but if you can, you really should take the opportunity to get a little bit of rest now if you're that far behind on sleep. Also, I need to refill my water stores. Alright, now, if I remember correctly, I had been discussing the possibility of exploring this part of the map. Because we've been quite a few places so far, but we haven't been up here. We certainly haven't been anywhere around here. And we haven't been over here. Hey, Baroness, welcome. Well, Baroness, I've heard different attestations from different people on that matter. Some people like to be able to work comfortably. I can't do it purely because it's not practical to do my sort of work from bed. It's not practical to type and use a computer for me from bed. It's physically uncomfortable and it's just inconvenient. There are some people who prefer it, but there are also those like you who there is some science behind it, and my understanding on the science is that you condition yourself to sleep when you lie down in bed, or you're supposed to, and that then if you start changing your conditioning that when you lie down in bed you need to stay awake to work, it makes it harder to sleep when you need to sleep. My sleep personally is so inconsistent and unreliable anyway that I can't get any meaningful results out of putting myself in different situations or trying self-conditioning or anything like that, because it just ends up being too chaotic to get any meaningful observations out of one way or the other. But if you discover that a particular habituation works or doesn't work for you, Baroness, then you should absolutely apply that knowledge and use it to improve your sleep schedule or whatever part of your life it applies to. Oh, okay, Monotone. In that case, I did miss your response. I apologize. Baroness, that's a permutation of the same reason why there are some people who love working from home, such as myself, and others who despise working from home and would rather go into an office because they need that subconscious mental separation of their working environment and their recovery environment. Or else because their working environment, their office, is their recovery environment if they're extroverts and they work at a more social office. Well, Baroness, there's always room to improve our habits. I know I certainly have plenty of room to improve mine. Whatever it happens to be, our eating habits or sleeping habits or living habits, whatever sort of habit, we can always look for something to improve. And if we look hard enough, we will find it. I need to improve, for example, my habit of letting my tea get cold. Okay, so we want to head generally northwest, I guess. Oh, and I had meant to stop back at the Allegan Fairgrounds as well. To see if the horde of melon heads there has settled down so that we can go back in and maybe find something worth making off with. Okay, I guess this must be one of my camps that I set up. And we can actually offload this stuff here. With a little luck, maybe even get some rest. Yes, how about that? Potato chips dehydrate you, so... I'm gonna pass on those, I think. I am going to eat those Twinkies, though. And I'm gonna hang on to that can for noise traps. What have we here? Ah! How about that? A handy little traveling sleeping bag. We can use that to deal with a little bit of hunger. And... ooh, a couple of abandoned apartment buildings. The abandoned ones that are physically intact seem to have better loot. Alright, we'll replace that with this one, which is in slightly better shape. Nothing good there. Tunnel people. The second housing collapse in as many years sends people flocking to flood tunnels for shelter. Record numbers of beleaguered mortgagers are seeking shelter anywhere they can find it. Many are turning to ad hoc communities centered around abandoned infrastructure, including flood tunnels, metro stations, and transfer stations. Man, whatever happened that messed the world up, it messed it up pretty bad, pretty quick. Those bullets, I believe, are a type I can actually use. So we're going to hang on to them. Ooh, and a locked storage shed. So let's crack that open. They almost never have anything good in them. Despite the fact that they're supposed to be a more rare and valuable form of container. They never seem to have anything to justify the trouble it takes to get into them. Yeah, a couple of half-dead lighters, a nearly broken flashlight, a couple of pairs of pants, and a whole bunch of rocks. Let's see if we got anything better out of this. Well, not really. Although, With this tarp, we can build a shelter. And maybe we can find something here that will... prove useful. Looks like probably not, though. These are painkillers. That might be useful. That we've read already. What I think we can do, though, is I believe we can break down... Oh, we can break down those. And we're going to need some... you know what we could do? Oh, come on. That goes there. And then that goes there. And now we have everything we need to build a camp. Yeah, Baroness, there are many perks to working from home, and not least of those is, first of all, the money you save. And if you have a family, especially if you have kids, the time that you get to spend with your kids that you wouldn't have been able to otherwise. And that's why so many people, when their boomer bosses try to force them to go back in and tell them that they can't work from home anymore, their response is, all right, see ya. And that, in my view, is the correct response. That. These I am going to hang on to. Hey, Agony, welcome. Yeah, nobleman, you know me. All those kids from the past 6 marriages. Uh-oh. Not much sun makes it into this warehouse. It's dank and dim. Inside you found 3 corpses. Looks like they're all women sprawled on the floor. The clothes are torn, some flesh too. You noticed some raiders coming out earlier. Must have hit an enclave and carted off the women. Methodically, you start checking the corpses. As you approach the last one, you see movement. She's been knocked around, but she's probably feigning death. Face down, she must think you're a raider. Reassure her, clean her up, give her the others' clothes. She's frightened. Tell her that they're all gone, then step back and give her some space. She'll know what to do. Helping is only asking for trouble. She's still breathing. She'll live. Move on. Hey, free bandages. Take what's left of her clothes. Jeez. That's terrible. As usual, I don't like any of these options. But the safest one seems to be tell her that they're all gone, then step back. You back off and explain that it's over, they're gone. A lot of good that does. She comes at you screaming like a banshee. You barely fend her off with your forearm, and she keeps running right out of the warehouse, still screaming. Traumatized, she may never be the same. Looking over the grisly scene here, you may not be either. Sheesh. Alright. Nothing, huh? Well, not a damn thing. What about a storage shed? No. I don't know what it is with storage sheds and having broken binoculars in them, but okay, I guess there's just a crowbar with a strap there. That guy must have dropped it. Oh, okay. This we can use. These are shotgun shells, and I believe those are slugs. Cornucola, all the sweet you can stand and double the caffeine. Yeah, welcome to every commercial sweet beverage ever. Nothing useful here. Whole bunch of recipes, which we have to transfer to our character's hand in order to keep them. In the wake of growing global security concerns, the U.S. military has begun an unprecedented amount of spending on security revitalization. Facilities across the U.S. are seeing ramp-ups in both security forces and technology. Michigan's own Camp Grayling has already begun a new energized perimeter project, inciting concern among civil rights groups and local residents alike. Oh, and then that's the police one we've already read. Monotone, I don't think I've ever thrown out binoculars. I've never had occasion to, if I'm honest. Look at this. Half a pair of binoculars and a whole pair. A whole bunch of junk on top of that. Well, that's another tarp. Well, we found a backpack. It's not really that helpful, but we found one. Okay, 2 first aid kits. This might be more helpful. And a... Ooh. A 99% condition duffel bag. One of those first aid kits is empty, but this one has some clean rags, and the rags from first aid kits are always in 100% condition. The ridiculous thing is, you can't put a duffel bag inside a backpack. Carbonated high fructose corn syrup beverage, a bad cut of beef. Echo drop. Not sure if serious. Well, I really want to take that bag with me, but I don't have enough free hands. All right, I have an idea. Now, we can't craft anything just yet. But we can set up a campsite here, and can grab some of this stuff. Hey, Tucker! Echo drop, you do that, but leave me out of it. If you'd be so kind. This is going to need to stay there for a minute while we go back and get that duffel bag. There. You can hold off on posting that in the dining room, Echo Drop. I'll pass. Adalakis, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back. Got back just in time for Echo Drop torturing me. I don't know why Echo Drop hates me so much, but... Well, Echo Drop, when that community does nothing but troll me with disgusting mayonnaise, I reserve the right to put my foot down. Yeah, Adalakis, 32 months is quite a long time. It goes by fast, doesn't it? Oh, I don't doubt that he does, Monotone. Echo Drop is quite a character. Also, it occurs to me to mention, I apologize, guys, if I seem a little bit low energy today. If that's the case, it's because I am. I didn't sleep well, and it's probably going to be a shorter stream, just because I want to try to get to bed a little earlier today, but... The point is, if I seem a little bit more quiet or lethargic or just otherwise out of sorts, yeah, it's just I didn't get as much sleep as I would have liked, and it was not the quality of sleep that I would have liked. Echo Drop. I'm going to go ahead and pull rank and just say that that does not need to be in chat, Echo Drop. Oh, hey, Nitch, how you doing? Yeah, people not sleeping well. Join the club. Membership's free. Yes, I know, Echo Drop. But it was Martha Stewart's recipe for mayonnaise cupcakes. So, once again, that does not need to be in chat. That's more offensive to me than a paragraph of profanity, Echo Drop. I'm more likely to forgive somebody for 600 characters worth of curses and swears than for that shit.
Much obliged.
Oh, Echo Drop, trying to make up for it, are you? Thank you, Echo Drop, for the 5 gift subs to Reverend Savage, Valkyrie Eden, Gorgelon, oh god, Ham Glazer Ham glaze or exotic dessert? What the hell kind of username? There's probably a story behind that name. I'm maybe 50% sure I'm curious to know what that story might be, but... and bird teeth. Thank you very much, Echo Drop. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Devilish, what even is sleep? The question of the century. What is this elusive sleep phenomenon? And how does one experience it? Thank you, Nitch, and likewise, believe me, I hope we all get some sleep too. What was I in the middle of? I feel like there was something semi-important I was trying to do when I got sidetracked. Vertigo, sleep isn't for the weak, sleep is for the tired. Unfortunately, not all among the tired can achieve sleep. At least some not nearly so easily as others. Well, Echo Drop, it's one thing not to have a sleep schedule. It's another thing entirely to be deprived of sleep. I know, Vertigo, I know. And I was just correcting those quotes. Tyrannex, you should see some of the crazy kinds of ice cream they have in Japan. Mind you, it's all novelty ice cream there, but... There's a distributor in Japan called Ice Cream City that runs sort of self-service locations and stores in, I think, usually shopping malls. I know there's one in Tokyo, or there was last time I was there. And they sell all kinds of abominations. They have salad-flavored ice cream with actual vegetables in it, like lettuce. They have beef tongue ice cream, snake ice cream with actual snake meat in it. I don't know what it is with Japan and novelty flavors, but they've come out with a few winners, but I feel like for every winner that they come out with, they end up with 10 cosmic horrors. Do you know, Monotone, I never understood the appeal of pistachio ice cream. For the same reason I never understood the appeal of coffee ice cream. If you want to eat pistachios, fine. Pistachios are perfectly nice on their own. Please keep them out of my ice cream. And if you're going to sweeten coffee to the point where it has the level of sweetness of ice cream, you're probably better off just buying soda. Because you can get all that caffeine and sugar without having to go to the trouble of brewing coffee. Monotone, I've always been curious to try snake. I've never actually had it. But I imagine snake is probably much better grilled or barbecued than it is in ice cream. I get the impression snake is probably not all that different from eel. I mean, I would think. Well, Monotone, see, that's the thing. I love everything about tiramisu accept almost every ingredient in tiramisu. Like, I love the idea of a nice, light sponge cake filled with very, very mildly sweetened mascarpone cheese. But I don't like chocolate. I hate alcohol. And I strongly dislike coffee. So I've been thinking about trying to make sometime an alternative tiramisu variant that instead of rum or whatever alcohol it is that's used in tiramisu, I think it's rum, instead of rum, coffee, and chocolate, I've been thinking about doing a more Christmassy version of it, like with fresh orange zest, cinnamon, cloves, allspice, maybe a little bit of anise, and yeah, probably just that. Like, I would replace the chocolate powder, usually chocolate, like it's cocoa powder sprinkled on top. I would replace that with the powdered sweet spice mix. And maybe blend a little bit of that in with the mascarpone. And then just not soak the cake in anything. Or maybe soak it in just a very little bit of black tea. Or like lapsang souchong. Maybe soaking it in a bit of lapsang souchong would give it a nice smoky flavor on top of all that nice Christmassy clove and allspice and everything. Oh no, Nitch, I can't stand coffee. I can't even stand the smell of coffee. Oh, I'm sure it does just with tea in it, Echo Drop. But I've always thought it might be neat to make a... again, the variant of tiramisu without any of the stuff I dislike, and with stuff in it that I know I like. Like, I kind of think the Christmas tiramisu could be a real winner. I've just never gotten around to making it because it's a huge pain to make. And I would need to make a fairly large batch of it for it to be worthwhile. And I don't really want to eat a large batch of it by myself, and I have nobody to share it with. So there are a number of mitigating factors that have gotten in the way of my my experiment with Christmas tiramisu. But if one of you wants to give that a try and make it, I don't claim any copyright to the idea, so I'd be very interested to hear what your results are, if you would care to try it yourselves. Where, Echo Drop? I'm working from home now, and COVID restrictions in Germany are still fairly tight. So I'm basically only leaving home, really, or only having direct contact with other people when I absolutely have to. Although, that was my life before COVID as well. And if I have anything to do with it, it will continue to be my life after COVID. Monotone, I would love to do that, but you, my poor boy, have far from enough time on your hands to be messing around with my weird science ideas in the kitchen. We're in the process of relaxing restrictions, Echo Drop. The problem in Germany is, instead of having every part of the country under federal mandate, the federal government here basically passed the buck and left it to the individual states to determine any and all restrictions that they take. So there are parts of Germany that are opening up, if not already opened up, and there are other parts of Germany that are still being very strict and very careful, because there is no uniform, widespread federal mandate here. It's just each different state is doing whatever the hell. Monotone, if you really want, I'll message it to you on Discord afterward. Or if you think you can remember, it's just you find a recipe for tiramisu and you follow that, except you replace the chocolate with sweet spices, a blend of, typically it'll be cinnamon, cloves, allspice, and a little bit of star anise. Or if you can find star anise powdered, just a little bit of that. And only use a little bit of anise. It goes a long way. And then some fresh orange zest. And you're going to want to make sure you use an organic orange for that. Because if you don't use an organic orange, the orange you use will be covered in wax. And you don't want that crap in your food. Because it's carcinogenic. So get an organic orange and zest the peel of one organic orange. That should be enough for a half pan or so of tiramisu. And just replace the chocolate and the coffee with the sweet spices as above, and replace the rum or the alcohol with nothing. Or maybe with a little bit of lapsang souchong if you can get it. But if you can't, don't worry about it. That's not important. And then just blend your mascarpone with a little bit of your spice mixture. And make sure that you get finely powdered spices. You don't want big chunks of that stuff in your tiramisu. Get everything finely powdered. And just follow the tiramisu recipe as you normally would otherwise. No, Devilish. No, amaretto still sucks. First of all, for my purposes, amaretto is a type of alcohol. It's a, I think it's an almond alcohol. So I personally would not use it. Plus, alcohol aside, I don't like the flavor of amaretto. And if I were going to use it, if I were going to make a Christmas tiramisu, I would not use amaretto, and I would not replace the alcohol in a standard tiramisu recipe with anything. If you like amaretto, you could absolutely use it if you want to make this yourself. But since Monotone requested the recipe that I've personally been thinking about trying to make, that recipe would not include any other substitute for the rum in a traditional tiramisu. Oh, it's amaretto that's in traditional tiramisu. I see. Yeah, I'll DM you, Monotone. There's no need to pin messages in the dining room. It's not crucially important that everyone in the dining room knows that I've been thinking about making Christmas tiramisu. Come to that, I'm wondering what else I could add to that recipe to make it more Christmassy. What could you put in tiramisu beyond what I've already come up with to make it more appropriate for Christmas? I guess we could put in some mistletoe, or a couple of boughs of holly, or maybe some pine needles. Actually, tinsel might be a good addition, or maybe a little bit of gold glitter. Well, I'll let you all figure out how you want to modify that recipe. If I were going to use an extract Echo Drop, I would use vanilla extract for that kind of tiramisu rather than almond. Almond, I find, and amaretto especially, but any kind of almond flavor, is just overpowering in pastries. And I've never liked it. Echo Drop, I think at the very least I have some reasonable pretext for the discussion, since the subject of tiramisu came up. And this is just a recipe I've been thinking of making. I've been thinking of this recipe for years, in fact. That's how low a priority it is for me to make sweets at home. The thing is, Monotone, it would be redundant to do that. You're already adding sweet Christmas spices anyway. There's no need to double down, because then you'll just end up with an overpowering flavor. I recommend Lapsang Souchong because you get the black tea taste out of that, but uniquely, you also get the smokiness that you would not get from pretty nearly any other black tea. So the idea is to complement flavors, not to build so many layers of the same flavor that it becomes overpowering. Do you see what I'm saying? And you would want to go very, very easy on the Lapsang Souchong for that tiramisu.
Greetings, undead warrior.
Tremer, welcome back. Thank you so much for the resub. Hello. Well, it serves the dual purpose, Echo Drop, of moistening the ladyfingers, but also adding flavor to the tiramisu. The problem is, moistening the ladyfingers, I've never had a tiramisu that was not inedibly soggy. And I am not a proponent of moistening the cake in a tiramisu at all for any reason. I think it's a stupid idea because all it does is it makes the cake soggy. It makes it so you can't taste the cake. All you taste is a bunch of amaretto-flavored mush or rum-flavored mush. So, again, I am strictly against soaking your tiramisu cake in anything for any reason. The mascarpone by itself provides plenty of moisture without soaking your cake in alcohol or amaretto. It is gross, Tremer. So, I don't know why people do that, Echo Drop, but I personally am not a fan of it. I'm not a proponent of that idea. Hello, Brooke. Welcome. Moistening lady... Oh, I see some of you have been watching the Great British Bake Off, huh? Yes, I'm sure you would all love to get those lady fingers nice and moist, and don't forget to take out your baps from the oven, that is. How did we get here? All right. Anyway. Oh, it looks like... Oh, okay. A 1% condition... pot. Well, that does no good. %78 lighter, huh? Well, this we will take. Oh, how about that? Somebody was kind enough to leave some food. Oh, there's the Camp Grayling perimeter story again. Not only some food, but another sleeping bag for us as well. We don't really need that rifle scope. Don't particularly need any of this stuff either. I guess we have room, so... Ah, look, 8 packets of ketchup. Alright, let's sneak up on this deer if we can. And we'll tackle it and kill it. There we go. Blast it. Now, of course, it's going to deteriorate. But we need some... food. It's a mask, Brooke. I found it at an abandoned fairgrounds. It apparently has the additional effect of intimidating enemies. Here for the moment. There we go. Now we've got a shelter, sleeping bag, and we just need some can traps. Hey, Sagari, welcome! Actually... probably just walk back here. No, 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 Brooke. Definitely not the base character design. See, we don't really get a good look at our protagonist's face, even with this stuff all off. It's just sort of a general... model, but we've got a balaclava on him now, we've got a gas mask on him, and the fast food clown head. Just to top it all off. Whoops. Ah. I accidentally pressed escape, and when you press escape... the game exits full screen. And it looks like that... oh, that blue frog cultist killed a dude. Oh, wow, the blue frogs are out in full force here, aren't they? My god, no, he didn't kill a dude, but... they look like they're about to. That scavenger is probably about to get whacked. Oh, pfft. I don't know who it is or why, but... people just keep leaving shoes all over the damn place. Oh. Well, that's a freshly killed person. I'll take his Twinkies. Ah. And I'll take a first aid kit in better shape. And a small chunk of meat, not bad. Oh, and more meat. Looks like somebody was having a cookout here. That might actually have been the campsite that I set up. Alright. Let's get some drink on. And some food. And stock up some supplies. Yes, I'm sure that's what it is, Brooke. Alright, let's see if we can get a little bit of rest here. Wow, well that worked out perfectly. Sheesh! Okay. That in some ways worked out even better. Look at all these free clothes. Ah, an empty gas mask. %90 lighter and a 94% lighter. Well, that will be helpful for the camp. And look at that, some whiskey. So we've got some disinfectant now that we can use at this camp, too. Put those down there. That can go in there. All right, and let's see. I'm pretty sure we can make a... Pretty sure we can make a noise trap with small parts. Sure can. All right, well, that gives us some alertness. And let's see if we can find anything better here. Well, not exactly what I was hoping for, but I'll take it. Hey, Oro, welcome. Another lighter. Don't really need a lighter or a 50% monkey wrench. More freaking binoculars. Another box. More junk. Huh. A squirrel snare. Alright, we'll check the buildings around here and then we'll move on. Because I would actually like to make some progress towards my intended destination. What have we here? An empty losapine bottle. An empty bottle of thyroxine. Both of those are dangerous. We want to avoid those. All the rest of this crap is just clothes. Buying things from markets or facilities in the city, Brooke, and using services mainly that are available in the city as well. Such as, for example, if you wanted to get surgery to have your eyes replaced by ocular implants so that you can see 20 miles away with perfect clarity. You would have to pay $5,000. I think actually a little more. Oh! I found a shopping cart. That is helpful. It's a shame it doesn't have higher durability, but Any shopping cart is better than no shopping cart. Boy, not an awful lot of useful stuff here, though. I probably should take that whiskey bottle so that I can boil some water in it. And I am going to put that there. Because we're going to need some firewood and wood for other purposes at this camp. And just leaving it on the ground here, nobody's going to steal wood. I want to make sure I have a little bit of wood and a little bit of kindling in my inventory so that we can set up camps as we go, because you need a couple of medium-sized branches and a couple of tarps. In order to build a, well, one tarp you need in order to build a tarp shelter. And that can go there, because these do eventually degrade. Not very quickly, but you eventually get to the point where you need another tarp, and you have to rebuild it. So what we're going to do... Oh, we don't have enough turns. Oh, we can only boil one. Huh? Hang on a minute. Oh, I guess we really do need a pot in order to, boil more than one set of rags at a time. Okay. Well, in that case, we might as well... Where is that broken bottle? There it is. Those can go there. These can go here. Millith, you boil it inside a glass whiskey bottle, which then breaks, or you boil it inside a tin soup can, which does not break. All right. Oh! Well, if it isn't my good buddy... A dog... Oh, God! That guy just got ganked! Poor guy. Wonder if we have a possibility of taking out 3 dogmen. Okay, we're going to explode with unbridled rage. Dogman leader is charging at us. 17, 21, and 14. Okay, this guy is the closest to us. 5. We're going to back up. We're going to exploit his weakness. We're going to stab the ever-living hell out of him. Dogman is stunned. This guy is at 0, this guy is at 8, this guy is also at 0. And we're going to stab the hell out of this guy. And we one-shotted the Dogman leader. We're going to one-shot this other one. And now he's toast. He's going to bleed to death. This idiot's vulnerable. We're going to stab him. I love how he has the status died of cardiac arrest. So it's just this one left now. And we're going to stab this one. And that one's just about dead. And we're going to... You know what? We're going to headbutt him. Player headbutts Dogman. Dogman's right. I headbutted his arm? Alright, well, time for the coup de grace. Dogman died due to cardiac arrest. I don't think we took a single hit during that entire encounter with 3 of the most dangerous enemy in the game. Check body for loot. Okay. Well... That's going to be 3 nice new Dogman coats. Hell, there's not even enough room for 3 Dogman corpses in the entire crafting UI. Well, nobleman, I caused the Dogman cardiac arrest by stabbing it with a spear. And because my character is basically just a gigantic 8-foot-tall muscle man who is unstoppable and elusive, not to mention strong, tough, and skilled in melee combat, these Dogmen basically just committed suicide by standing near me in a spot where I could see them. And now we're going to use our trapping skill.
Thank you.
Caleb! Welcome back! Thank you so much for the resub. Great to see you. I really wish these stupid Dogman coats didn't deteriorate so quickly. God, look at this. There's not even enough room on the ground here. All this freaking Dogman meat is going to go to waste because I don't even have enough room for it. Look at this. Gonna have to put these Dogman coats in this camp. This alone is like $600, probably closer to $700 worth of Dogman fur. I hope that guy got away. Alright, now we're going to have to cook all of this. And we're going to be short on turns here, so medium campfire lit. I think the best way to do this is to create some ash using these campfires. And then we're going to make some cured medium meat. Yeah, Millith, you say that, but we've now ended up with more of this stuff than I know what to do with. And now I need to make more ash, because we're already out. Look at this. We're going to have to eat some of that just to make room for more in our inventory. Unfortunately, Brooke, you can't use it as a projectile. And the longer I wait here... Now we're going to have to just start roasting it, because otherwise we're... Otherwise we're letting it go to waste. Sadly, this is more food than I even know what to do with. This is gonna all entirely fill up my camp and possibly even the spaces adjoining my camp. No, Caleb, I have not, and I have no interest in playing it. What do we want to do here? Yeah, this is what we want to do. This, it still takes a ridiculously long time to cook this stuff. To the point where it's not even practical to process 3 dogman corpses. The only way I'm ever going to get anything out of this is if I can make it to the ATN Enclave. Probably better that we start using it now, because pretty soon we're not going to have an opportunity even. Huh! A sleeping bag, huh? A first aid kit with a tablet in it. Great. Flashlight. Which actually has a little bit of juice in it, by some miracle. This, I guess, we can put at the campsite. Holy. Not bad. That was a blue frog dude who has a sash that's in better shape than mine, so I'll be taking that. Some jelly bears. Bunch of crap I don't need. A gun, which is always handy. We can get rid of that flashlight, actually. This battery... Huh? We have to... What? Small battery sparker. It doesn't seem to want to take AA batteries, even though it very explicitly looks like that's what it's meant to take. Alright, fine then. Holy hell. Once again, I see I'm up to my armpits in sleeping bags. Oh, and this must be the guy who was fighting that blue frog idiot. Although there were a couple of them, they seem to have just died. Wandering Rascal, hello and welcome. My opinion, go into this game blind or look up a tutorial or... That's a tough question, Rascal, because this game does not do a very good job of teaching you anything about how to play. I'm lucky in that I'm streaming it, so I have chat to answer questions and provide tips when I ask for it without giving major spoilers. What I recommend you do, Wandering Rascal, is there are a bunch of videos and a bunch of articles by various game journalist sites out there to the effect of, here are a bunch of tips we wish we had known before we picked up Neo Scavenger and started to play. I would start there and just look for resources that explain basic mechanics without spoiling the game for you. Because the game itself, if you don't do anything to learn how to play it, it is going to very unkindly kill you over and over without giving you proper feedback on what you did wrong or what not to do next time to avoid dying that way. So just refresh yourself on the mechanics, but try to avoid spoilers, is what I recommend, Rascal. You'll have a much better experience if you have some understanding, I think, of the way that the hunger and thirst and the sleep and the burdening and basically all of the different bars over on this side of the screen. If you understand how this stuff works going into it, you'll have a much more enjoyable experience with the game. Because the game does nothing to teach you what any of this stuff does in-game. There's no tutorial. It's just figure it out for yourself, and if you can't make the connection, well, too bad. So that's what I recommend. I hope that's helpful. Overall, it is an enjoyable game once you know how to play it. But being able to enjoy it, at least for me, has proven contingent upon understanding how it works. And to get to the point of understanding how it works, I've had to stream it quite a number of times and had to ask a lot of questions of people in chat who've already played it. And that helped me to avoid most of the frustration, I would guess. And that in turn has also made it a much more enjoyable experience for me. That being said, Rascal, there are quite a number of mods for this game that can alter the experience for you however you like. There are mods that make it easier, mods that make it harder, mods that add new systems and new content and new equipment and items. So there are ways to adjust the experience according to whatever sort of experience you want to have. Be that easier, harder, or just parallel. Having said that, I am playing the unmodded vanilla version of the game because I felt it was important for me to experience the original balancing before I go messing around slapping mods on it. and altering the experience, I felt like I should at least find out what the base experience was, and then that'll give me a better idea of whether or not I want to do another playthrough sometime and use mods. Yeah, that's what I recommend, Rascal. Go vanilla first. Because, again, playing through in vanilla will give you a much better understanding of how you might want to mod the game, if at all. But doing a little bit of reading up on the systems and the basic core mechanics of the game will definitely make it a much less frustrating and more enjoyable experience for you for your first playthrough. Unless you're one of those really hardcore people who is all about struggling and experiencing the frustration and the full challenge of just bashing your face on something over and over to learn how it works. Frustration be damned, which it doesn't sound like is the case, but unless you're one of those people, this is what I would recommend. Oh, I thought there might have been some items here that somebody dropped, but I guess not. RLA, unique is definitely one of many appropriate descriptions of this game. Ah, people have compared this game to Stalker Anomaly in chat before, Rascal. That one I've never played, but from the way people have described it, it definitely sounds... Well, it sounds like it has at least some cursory similarities. The overwhelming impression I get of this game, though, is it has a lot of ideas. Oh, God. It has a lot of ideas in it that are not fully finished or fleshed out, that I suspect just never ended up getting as fully developed as the devs wanted, purely because the devs are basically a two-person team. And they probably didn't have either the time or the money to add as much to the game as it looks like there was originally intended to be. Holy hell, there's quite a lot of valuable stuff here. Oh, it looks like somebody... Well, we'd better put all this stuff... Wow, oh! These bastards have been raiding my camp. Nothing is sacred around here anymore. Oh yeah, the clown mask. That's what gets everybody. That's what everyone wants to know about is... You play as a clown in this game? No, you don't, but you can find a clown mask. And, it has some rather unexpected effects on the, combat. Also, I'm fairly sure the reason that there were people stealing stuff from my camp was that I didn't have two can traps, because it looks like the can traps, or the noise traps, rather, are, what keep people out. Oh, the fire makes the camp easier to see. I forgot about that, Asherite. I know it's the case when you're at your camp, but I don't remember it being the case when you're elsewhere. That we're going to take. Yeah, I should, Brooke. If only there was some way that I could... If only there were an item that were like a dogman's skull on a stake that I could put at my camp as a warning to other people to stay away. Ah, a metal saucepan at 49%. Okay, Brooklyn, have a good one. Take care. That stuff can all go in there. Medium battery sparker we don't need. Actually, we can use this as a refrigerator, kinda. actually. Maybe there's a more economical way we can do this. Okay, this shopping cart has at least enough durability to get us back to the ATN Enclave. Probably not, Asherite. No, this is going to be a shorter stream today because I am pretty tired. So if you're heading out, I probably won't see you before tomorrow. Right, where are... There they are. And I also need to break down these. Boy, fighting those dogmen really did a number on that spear. Actually, it might be that we can... We can work those in. And store some items that way. That's not gonna fit, huh? There, that fits perfectly. Hey, Zarataro, I'm doing all right, thanks. How about you? I hope all is well. Ah, okay, it looks like some... what do you call them? Detroit soldiers. Ah, very good, Zarataro. Yeah, this game is definitely not for everybody, I will say that. But if it is the sort of game you enjoy, then chances are you would be well served by giving it a try. It really depends. Consult your doctor before playing Neo Scavenger. Well, I don't think it's quite that traumatic, but... Oh, water purification tablets. Those I can use. It looks like there are some blue frog idiots over here. Right. Yeah, this meat is not going to last too much longer. What do I want to do here? I want to make room for those dogman pelts. That at least we can eat. This we can carry in our hand, I guess. Alright, and let's see about... Okay, we can fit these. Ridiculous running into 3 of these guys, killing them all in the same battle. Alright, we're going to hide. And then we're going to rest. And I think... Let's just double check, but... Okay, yeah, I think that should hold us till we get to the ATN Enclave. Holy hell, though, the Detroit mercenaries certainly have been busy. 73%, not bad. Ah! And this is a bottle of tannin tea, so somebody must have killed an Enclave member here. There's a dead dude, whom the guy that we were just talking to probably already stripped of valuables. Nah, we don't really need that. We will take that, though. Sheesh. These dudes are killing each other. Slaughtering each other, even. There's literally more loot here than I even have room for. We'll take that. This stuff, I guess, we'll just get rid of. Very good, Sariantar. Yeah, the shopping cart is a really lucky find. It doesn't seem to be very common. Well, 2 dudes with the exact same durability on their corpses, which means they definitely killed each other. Pair of night vision goggles. Some free clean water. Holy hell. That is a lot of amoxicillin. And it appears to be legit. Man, in the beginning of the game, I died a couple of times because I couldn't find any amoxicillin when I needed it. To find a bottle of 12 of it just lying around is kind of incredible. All right. I thought it might be worth trying to get him to surrender to see if we could squeeze anything out of him. But I also thought that maybe he had raided our camp. And it turns out he didn't. Oh, I've got shoes. Sorry, Antara, I've got tactical boots, which I don't know if they're any better. They might last a little longer, but they don't seem to have any other practical effect. The reason I was interested in a boot was purely for the purpose of selling it. And what I'm gonna do I hate how it auto-selects pill bottles before it will use cans. So what we actually want to do here is we want to use that. That. There was an individual piece of string somewhere around here. I would really like to use for this purpose. But it doesn't seem to be showing up, so maybe it is... Oh, okay. Sorry, Antara, as long as you're wearing a pair of proper footwear, you won't get blisters on your feet. Blisters only happen if you're wearing rag shoes, like the makeshift ones. The tactical boots are much harder to find. Running shoes you'll find in a much greater supply and much earlier on, but I'm not entirely sure how much difference it even makes, how long they last compared to the work boots or the tactical boots. They all seem, anecdotally anyway, I don't know their exact durations, but they all seem to last more or less the same amount of time. Somewhere close enough, anyway. Oh, what have we here? Actually... Oh, of course it's freaking locked. Now that I think of it. Because we can just sell this whole bag when we get to the Enclave. And most of that one, too. Ooh, and actually... Hey, Magnus, welcome! Oh yeah, we'd probably better start eating these. Because these are about to go bad on us. Also, I forgot to unhide. Alright, so I guess now I can just gradually begin working my way vaguely northwest. Whoever that was just fled. More painkillers. Well, on the bright side, we now at least have a little bit of everything we need in order to overcome sickness. We've got painkillers, we've got amoxicillin, we've got plenty of amoxicillin now. We've got disinfectant if we need it. We've got rags. Okay, that's a blue frog guy. We do not need to hang around him. Sheesh, that's almost destroyed. That goes with night vision goggles, for whatever it's worth. That is all just the remains of a human corpse, which can go. Congrats, Magnus. I imagine that must be a royal relief. iSlab, octa-core CPU, 6 cameras, orbital data storage plan, 3D LED display, Flexa touchscreen, Wi-Fi, and 8G connectivity. GPS tracking device, Fireprint sheet burner. This thing has better specs than a modern desktop PC. Also, I'm kind of depressed to see that this universe made it all the way to 8G. Okay, yeah, it's time to just eat this stuff. Makes it a little easier for me anyway. I know the feeling all too well, Magnus. I've experienced it a few times myself. There is nothing quite like the sense of liberation of driving home from your last day of a job you can't stand, knowing that the future is all yours. Or at the very least, that the future holds the possibility of doing something better and less strenuous and thankless. I'm really, really happy for you, Magnus. That's awesome. I'm really glad you finally get out of there. You get to go be with your wife. You get to relax a little bit and not be ground into the dirt every day. I imagine, Magnus, you're probably going to have a nice little celebration when you get up to Canada. And if you weren't already planning to, then I encourage you to do. Oh, that was sweet of the nurses, Magnus. I'm not surprised the department didn't take any steps because, you know, that's how it always is. At a big institution, hospital or not, but... Sariantar, did you make any noise traps? Because noise traps can prevent that kind of thing from happening, although with dogmen, I believe dogmen have innate stealth capabilities, and they will go out of their way to hunt you down if they know you're there. They also tend to travel in packs. Your delayed honeymoon. Awesome, Magnus. Oh, you were next to the Enclave, Sariantar. So, we were given a very explicit warning that the dogmen hang out up north toward the northern part of the map, and the Enclave seems to be right on the border of their territory. So, it can be very dangerous to hang around there. What I recommend is find yourself a camp in an abandoned building, because buildings give the best shelter. You want to try and max out your shelter and your alertness. And if you have 3 noise traps will max out your alertness. Even if you don't have the tracking ability, I think is what gives you the ability to see your alertness bar. Because the more sheltered your campsite, the less likely enemies are to be able to find you while you're sleeping. And another thing I recommend you do, if you haven't already, is before you go to sleep... Whoops. Before you go to sleep, click the hide button over here, because you can hide while you sleep, and hiding doesn't take away any additional turns while you're sleeping, but it does help prevent other enemies from finding you while you're unconscious. Oh, Magnus, that's ironic. Nurses at a hospital getting you a Henkel's knife set. That was awfully nice of them, though, Magnus, and it is a practical gift. I guess so, Sariantar. If you already did all of that, then you took pretty much every measure you possibly could have. That's the thing about this game, is even if you do everything right, every now and then it will go, guess what, you're dead anyway. Which is rather unsporting, if you ask me. Well, somebody just killed this, There we go. We're going to just light a small campfire here. Oh, and look at that. Just enough in terms of time and resources to cook exactly the amount of meat that we just got. Okay, so I guess from here we want to head almost directly west. Looks like not a lot of people have been through here. Yeah, I guess not too many have. Now, we can't craft anything yet, but... Alright, for this campsite, we'll just do a quick bang-up job. We'll do a tarp shelter. And we'll do a sleeping bag. And we will consume that. All right, we will make a... No, we will not use this. Goodness sake. The most asinine things this UI wants me to use. Right, and then we will hide. And we will rest. Ah, gotcha, Magnus. Yeah, again, knives are a super practical gift. Especially nice ones like those. All right. We don't have much longer till this cart disintegrates. So we'd probably better... We're actually running low on water now that I look at it. And I don't want to get water from a lake if I can avoid it. Oh. This is a marsh. It's even worse. We're going to have to take this stuff off because we're overheating. For some reason, despite the fact that the outdoor temperature has gone way down, we take them off, we're shivering. We put them back on, we're fine. Hello, Nate. Welcome. Huh. 3 caster wheels. Okay, there's the Enclave. Perfect. Sorry, Antara, this is what I have. I ended up going for a melee build after I got frustrated that bad mothers kept slaughtering me when I was trying to sleep. And since the broad spear turns out to be the best melee weapon in the game, that's what I've been using. And dogmen were another reason, Sariantar. A little bit before you got here, I ended up running into a group of 3 dogmen together all at once. And with this build and this weapon, I killed all 3 of them without them ever even touching me. Which is why I have these 3 dogman coats in my shopping cart that I am on my way to the Enclave to pawn off. Because they'll be able to put these things to much better use than I will. And I mean, I guess I can't really say that I need the money anymore, but more money is always better, right? What have we here? I'm not certain about that water. And I'm not going to risk it. I have a couple of camps around here as well, but that might be Dogman number 4 if he causes me any problems. I'm going to try to avoid him only because I don't have room for more Dogman pelts. Actually, what is he doing? Activity sniffing the ground. Sees player, yes. Well, the fact that he sees me and he hasn't tried to attack me yet is probably a good sign. It probably means he's not going to try. Alright, yes, let's go... First, let's sit down for a meal. And then let's check out the trading post, because boy, have I... Oh, wow! They've got a nano-robot med kit? Where did these guys find that? This stuff we can just sell. That's already about $1,300 or $1,400 we just made. And these... Okay, the amoxicillin I want to keep. We'll refresh that. That's about to go bad, so I'll just eat it. That I'll put there. This I'm gonna have to do something else with. I'd like to bring that travois, because this cart is on its last legs, or wheels. It's got 3.7% durability left. People mentioned to me that you could. Sorry, Antara, but yeah, it's pretty inefficient to do that. If you need money early on, it's definitely an easy way of making money for free. But yeah, it is pretty tedious. And I'm not going to visit Joe because I don't want to waste the medical treatment. Yeah, here's the camp I've been using. And that water down in the corner, I've already checked to make sure it's clean, and it is. So what we're gonna do... Oh, I already, apparently already had some tea in there. Alright. Is it safe? No, it is not. Neither is that. My God, this river is, full of cholera. Sheesh. There we go, finally. Hey, Neo Shadow, welcome! Okay, that is also safe. So we're gonna drink that. Oh, and we need to do something about this sweating, so we're just going to take those off temporarily. Huh. There is a campfire already burning here that I don't remember lighting, but maybe I did. It's really weird the way time passes at a campsite when you're away from it. It seems like time just stands still under those circumstances. Yeah, because my noise traps are all still intact. Oh, I need to go buy back that amoxicillin now that I think about it, actually. Definitely did not intend to... leave that, at the... what do you call it? The camp. Yeah, sorry, Antar. I've observed the same thing. My guess is it's because in order for time to pass, the game would have to actually load the area. And it probably just isn't practical for the game to load every single hex on the map all the time. Okay. That's where it went. I didn't mean to put it there. Okay, these can go here, because we're going to sell them. This... I might as well just eat now. Boy, that takes away a lot of thirst, though, eating those. No, that's more or less what it is. The whole premise of this game is you woke up in a stasis facility with no memory of how you got there or even who you are. Okay, so we need to go back to the Enclave. Need to get my amoxicillin back. That can go over there. We can just eat those. And now we get to play inventory Tetris. Actually, there are a couple of things we can do to make this process a little bit easier on ourselves. We can put stuff into those bags. And that will let us put that there, and that there. And for $5, we have a brand new vehicle now. Oh, I think I've seen that one, Noah Bad. I think I've seen that on Steam, I want to say. All right. And that ought to do. And then we can head out. And let me just make sure. Because I know I've got some amoxicillin in this container, but let's just check for certain that this is what it actually is. It does get added to it. Now let's see if the other stack does. It does. So that is indeed genuine amoxicillin. And these, I think, are the super-duper prescription painkillers. The, hey, did you want to get addicted to opioids ones? Okay, yep. That's fine then. Those batteries I don't think we need. Even after putting stuff where it needs to be, we've still got plenty of every kind of med. That's good. We've got... plenty of whiskey. We've got plenty of tannin tea. I mean, we've got enough tannin tea, really, that we probably could stand to just sell the whiskey. I don't know, Noabad. I think there's an ultimate goal, but if there is, I haven't found it yet, although every indication that we've gotten is that the major story quests seem to lead back to Camp Grayling. So it's possible that if there is an actual endgame, then that'll be where it takes place. Yeah, Sariantar, I'm starting to think that too. I haven't run into any... Honestly, the main story quests I've done kind of turned into a dead end. We found that Kale guy who seemed to know a little bit more about us, and we got a little bit of information out of him, but not really enough to answer my major questions, and certainly not enough to tell us where to go next. Noabad, it's not actually quite so generic as you might think. A generic apocalypse would be zombies or some kind of disease. But that's clearly not what's going on here. What's going on here seems to be some kind of cross between realistic, real-world problems and some sort of supernatural shenanigans where cryptids like dogmen and a Murga wraith and a bunch of other folklore creatures appear to be actually walking around trying to kill people. And amid all of that, the city of Detroit is basically still just Detroit. I don't know, Noabad. The game seems to take place entirely in a small portion of the state of Michigan. In fact, the immediate vicinity of the city of Detroit, which in this universe has become a sort of a walled fortress city that is heavily defended by mercenaries and mechanical soldiers, or machines anyway. Yeah, pretty much know about. I mean, the city is defended by mercenaries walking around with what appear to be futuristic-looking Benelli shotguns, like combat shotguns, and full tactical gear. Not to mention, they're accompanied by armed drones that that seem to have 4mm Gauss cannons mounted on them. And actually, one of the easiest ways of finding salvage in this game, of finding equipment and useful items, is to just follow around a group of the mercenaries as they wander around on patrol, killing hostile passersby, and you just follow after them and pick up the loot that's left over. It's somewhere between 2050 and 2070, I think, Saryantar, yeah. The sequel to this game, which is set in the same universe, I believe takes place in the year 2077 or 2079. Astronauts, it's called. And I've played an early build of it, but it's very, very early access right now. It's not really at the point where there's a substantial amount of content in the game. Right now they're working on basically adding content and mainly fixing bugs. You can boomalope, and I've tried, but it turns out you need 3 or 4 different skills in order to actually be able to make that rifle. There's a recipe for it, which I have, and the recipe calls for, I think, by the time all is said and done, you need electrician skill, mechanical skill, and possibly hacking skill. And boomalope, every once in a while, if you get lucky, you'll find a drone that's already been destroyed. I did. I found one, and its wreckage was worth $1,000, and I thought, oh, I'll just pick this up and haul it back to the junkyard and sell it off for a tidy little profit. And I picked up the drone wreckage and put it in my hand, and then I realized that the drone wreckage weighed 750 kilograms, and I couldn't carry it, because my carry limit is 37 kilograms. So those are some pretty freaking big drones. Yeah, boomalope. As a matter of fact, whoops, we could check. Keep forgetting, you're not supposed to hit the escape key in this game. let's have a look at that recipe and see exactly what it calls for. Okay, 4mm Gauss rifle. Electrician skill, mechanical skill, a sharp edge, pliers, a Phillips head screwdriver, 20 small mechanical parts, a wooden rifle stock, which I don't even know where to get or how to make, high energy capacitors, a 4mm Gauss gun barrel, a 4mm Gauss gun receiver, a stage switching circuit, and a charging circuit. So building this thing is unbelievably complicated. You break down a normal rifle for the stock. Huh, okay. Well, at least that's fairly simple. I'm guessing, though, that because some of these other components seem really unique, like high-energy capacitors, a Gauss gun barrel, a Gauss gun receiver, a stage-switching circuit. These also seem really complicated, and I'm guessing you probably have to subcraft several of these components, or else maybe the drone wreckage just contains them as they are. But I suspect that the Gauss rifle is probably the game's alternative for people who take a frail handicap, so that you can just slaughter stuff from a distance. And I'm not even sure where to get or how to make ammunition for this gun. I'm not sure you can craft ammo in this game, and I'm pretty sure the only place that you can get Gauss rifle rounds, the only place I've ever found them anyway, is on the wreckage of a crashed drone. Yeah, Boomalope, I suspect something in this list probably comes from breaking down other electronics. But again, you would probably need the electronics skill for that, and maybe mechanics as well. I also have to wonder if the Gauss rifle is actually any better than any of the other guns, especially if you take the strong and ranged perks, because those apparently stack, and they mutually affect your ranged weapon damage and accuracy. And apparently also the range of your ranged weapons. If you take the ranged perk, apparently, and I didn't know this until very recently, apparently it doubles your range. Which is kinda nuts. Hi, breakfast. Freed from the shackles of time, breakfast. That sounds dire. Are you trying to tell me you're off work? Is that what you're saying? You are off work. Okay, very good. Well, breakfast, you got here just in time because it's kind of a low-energy day for me, and I am pretty tired. You had to stick around a little extra to make desserts, but you're finally free. Well, stick around, breakfast, because I am going to try and get to bed at a somewhat more reasonable hour today and get some dinner as well. So I think I'm going to call it here. I know it's been a shorter stream, but I am pretty tired. I didn't sleep well last night. I didn't get a lot of rest, and I'd really like to fix that if I can. So what we're going to do is we're going to go raid my friend Spilt Tea, who is playing Shadows of the Tomb Raider, actually. So, in a way, it's kind of a survival game. Not the same way as this, of course, but stick around, everybody, because if you don't know Spilt Tea, you're going to be really happy that you were introduced to her. She is so sweet and so kind and just an unbelievably lovely and wonderful individual. So stick around, and with a little bit of luck, I am going to try to stream more of this tomorrow, so hopefully I will see all of you then. Take care, everybody.